Welcome. In front of me is a VIVO X80 Lite, and today I'll show you how you can bypass the Google verification on this phone. So, in a second you will see that the device that I have right here is locked, outside of just a lock icon in the corner there. So that's one thing. It's locked using a pattern and obviously Google account. Now for the actual bypass we will need a couple of things. So number one, we'll need a SIM card. Any SIM card will work, but it needs to have basically a SIM pin on it. So when you put it in, it confronts you that you need to, unlock it using providing the SIM card pin. What seems to be the problem? Let's try that again. So that's one thing, SIM card with a pin, and a second one, which is also as important, is a secondary device. So the reason we need a second device is because we will basically download an application on our second device that we have access to, and then using phone clone or easy share, as we're going to be downloading that as well here, we're going to move that application to this phone, and that will allow us to unlock it. Now obviously you need to have a phone that has access to the Google Play Store, so right here. Now with that being said, let's get our SIM card on a tray, because we can see already that the device is locked. So that's one, and come on. Oh, there we go, that's the second one. So you can see it is locked. Anyway, I'm gonna put in my SIM card into it, and once it shows up with this, we're just gonna take it out. Now next we're gonna press power button and swipe up on here on the phone. Sorry for that, unfortunate sneezing. Anyway, so as you can see, we open up dialer here, and we're just gonna slap any kind of numbers, and then we're gonna tap send a message. Next, in the text message, you want to type in www.youtube.com. Now, very important, the extension www needs to be there, and also just make sure that all the letters are small. The reason for that is, if you choose to send it just youtube.com, for instance, which I did not put a dot on there, there we go. If you choose to send youtube.com without the www, what will happen is once you send the message and try to open it up, it opens up YouTube in this kind of like small little pop-up window, which doesn't give us access to these settings, which is what we need. While giving this extension and sending it, also, like I said, with the small letters, just if one letter, one W is big, it also kind of screws it up and opens it up in a small window. But once you do it like I have exactly, you tap onto the little arrow to load the preview, then you tap on the link to YouTube, accept and continue, and select don't allow. Now there's two alternatives. Either this one will be one, so we want to navigate to settings and about, and nothing happens. So in this case, we're just gonna back out and repeat it. If you have some kind of about page visible, you want to then select Google Privacy Policy, and I think that's about it. And this will open up your browser, but because that doesn't happen for me, I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna then select no thanks, and it now stays on the browser. I didn't back out far enough to go back to the message page, so that's important, but if you did, you can just click on the link again and it should just stay on the browser as well. From here, we want to navigate to hardreset.info/bypass. And in here, scroll down till you see the settings hub, click on it. And here we're gonna scroll all the way down to System, Phone Clone, Agree, New Device, Android, got it. And then agree while using the app, or just allow with whatever it shows you. And as you can see, we have now our QR code scanner visible. Now, moving to our other device, I am gonna quickly do two things. So number one, I do want to get rid of this first because there is a couple things that will go through, which, assuming I have already done this, it wouldn't show up the second time. So start off by searching for Activity Launcher. Activity Launcher, there we go. And you want to just install it. So select install and you're good to go. Next, you want to search for Easy Share. Install. This one, as you will see in a second, is from VIVO or VIVO Communication something something. I guess it doesn't show up anymore, but you can see it right here. So anyway, once this is downloaded and installed, click on Open, Agree, Agree, select Phone Clone, Old Device, Set, toggle it on, go back, Set, find Easy Share, toggle on, go back twice, again tap Old Device, got it, and then while using up, allow. And there's, I think, a couple more things that will show up, but right now it generated the QR code. So what we need to do is, using the camera, you want to simply scan it. And you will see that these two devices now connect to each other. So here we go, we have more permissions required now. So we're going to toggle it on, go back, allow, 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 and it now shows us all the content. Next, we're gonna click right here, deselect all, click on Apps, toggle on Activity Launcher, and OK. Next, draw the pattern if you have, or pin, password, whatever you have on this device. So I do have a pattern, and for some reason it failed, so let's try that again. Yep. So disconnected these two devices without any reason. Deselect apps, Activity Launcher, okay, next, pattern, start cloning. Okay, and there we go, now it's going. So once it finishes up the cloning process, we're just gonna get rid of this device and now focus on the locked one. Once the process is finished, you want to click right here on this, kind of like a clock with an arrow, then select Apps and select Open Activity Launcher. Okay. Let's give it a second, it's gonna load every activity that is running in the background. Next, click on the drop down for the Android setup. Scroll down and here you'll find one of these options in the list without the gear icon, as you can see right over here. So you want to click on it, then select Start, Skip, gonna select Next, and here we're gonna select Next and then no cable, copy without cable, Next, and it looks like we actually need to grab the other device again. And next we're gonna select use my Google account instead. So right here. Where's the search on here? Guess it's gonna be this one or not. And there is no other option. So next. Or we can also use the OK Google set up my device. So let's see, do we have that on here? Yep, we do. So swiping across on the gestures, you can see it brings up the Google Assistant. OK Google, set up my device.
Sure.
OK Google, set up my device.
Got.
I'm not sure if this is it. No, there we go. Next, all of these are correct. Yep, so let's select next. Copy to your new device. Let's see. So we're gonna select copy. Again, confirm the pattern. Okay, so it looks like we are done. Now I'm just gonna make sure that I don't screw this up right here. Okay, so once it loads it up, we're actually gonna counterintuitively select don't copy and select don't copy as a confirmation. And now, even more counterintuitively, we're gonna hold our power button and we're gonna select restart. Select start. Next. Don't copy. And there we go. So it shows us that account added. So this is the account on the other device that is now been basically added to the device, even though we technically canceled on the copying of the data. It's still moved over the account. So we're just gonna select next now. Okay. And you can see we already passed the point where you would typically need to verify your device. Select whatever you want in here. At the moment, it actually doesn't really matter what we select. Now, let me quickly make sure that I don't need to select some kind of screen lock. So it looks like we're just gonna select skip. Continue. Skip. Skip. No thanks. We can select install manually. Send user data, and that doesn't really matter here. Next, next, get started. And for some reason it brought us back to the beginning. Quickly make sure. Okay, so it looks like the guide doesn't actually work fully, as it did bring us back to the beginning of the setup. So we can now completely trick it, if I'm correct. So what we want to do now is screen lock. You know, you've seen that the verification method before was a pattern, so I'm gonna stick with the pen. Let's make it very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Okay, so this doesn't seem to actually allow me to do this. Okay, so it worked this time around. If I appear confused, it's because I kind of am confused right now. But anyway, you can see that it actually did finish up the setup. Just we needed to go through it the second time around for some reason, at which point it actually finished it up instead of bringing us back to the beginning. So from here, there is one last thing that I recommend doing, which would be navigating into your settings and scrolling all the way down to System, and in here select Reset Options and erase all data, and then select the button once more. This will begin a factory reset of your phone. Now the reason you want to do this, even though you already have access to the home screen, is because the device still has some Google accounts, and as you've seen, I couldn't set up a screen lock, so that seemed to be problematic. If you go to the reset through settings, this will all be resolved because the device is forced to remove every kind of protection that was previously used on this device. That also would include verification methods. So therefore, this kind of unlocks the device. Now, one more thing that I'm going to mention for people that are a little bit more keen-eyed, we could have technically selected the reset options when I went through the browser to the settings, but the reason we haven't done that back then is because the device actually was still in a setup process. If you go through the reset, when the device still thinks it's in setup process, which it at that time was, this wouldn't work. But once the setup is finished, you can do this, and at that point the device checks, okay, device has been set up, so there is no real reason why some unwanted person would be able to access your device and be able to reset it. So it just kind of allows us to do this based on this kind of idea that verify the phone, or go through the setup process. If you have done this, you're good to go. If you haven't, then it goes back to being locked. So anyway, with that being said, this is basically the last step right here to select erase all data, which therefore fully unlocks your device. Now, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.